So Tacloban Mission is known for a couple things. Um, First off, Tacloban is our area is known for having the lowest income per capita out of the whole Philippines, meaning it's one of the poorest areas of the Philippines. So because of that, you're not going to find many buildings higher than 2 stories. There's only 2 lights, 2 city lights in the whole mission, and that's right in the city. When you first get to the mission field for orientation, they will take you to MacArthur Park. One thing that is famous about Tacloban is General MacArthur. In World War II, he was in the Philippines, and when he was sailing away one day, he said to the Filipinos, "I will return," meaning he had returned to liberate them from their captivate. I can't remember that word. Captive. Who was holding them captive? He turned around and said, "I will return," and he did return. And 60 years later, they built a monument to him. It's a bunch of 12-foot gold-plated men standing in the water. It's called MacArthur Park, and in Tacloban Mission, they have turned that phrase, "I will return." They've turned it to a more gospel-centered theme, meaning "I will return with honor." And every missionary tries to live that saying out for their whole mission: return with honor. I will return having completed a full-time, honorable mission. Let's see, the food you will eat it takes some getting used to. Definitely not what you're used to here. You buy one of the best things is you buy a lot of fresh fruit. Mango season is fantastic, best mangoes you'll ever have. There are so many different kinds of bananas to eat. There's red, yellow, brown, green, tall, short, fat, square. You won't even imagine how many bananas there are. They also have the market that you go to buy your food each morning. It does take some getting used to. If you get there early enough, you can see some of the animals being slaughtered on the tables and cut up into little squares, and that's what you buy for your meat. And it's just sitting out on a table. The people have small fans that they swat flies away with. And if you're new, you first see that and you say, "There's no way I'm going to eat that." But when you're getting fed that food by members, you get used to it, and well, that's the goal. Hopefully, you get used to it, and it becomes easier to eat. The culture, people are just naturally friendly there. If you're white, you're going to stick out like a sore thumb. They'll notice that. Usually they'll yell out, "Hey Joe," which I guess that originates back to World War II in terms of G.I. Joe, I guess the typical army guy. When they had their presence in the Philippines, Filipinos just recognized the army guys as G.I. Joes, and they would just call them as Joes, and I guess that tradition has stuck. So you'll be walking down the street and Filipinos will yell out, "Hey Joe," which actually presented a lot of interesting, it presented opportunities to go talk to them. We'd go up and we'd kind of make fun out of it. We'd just point at our name tags and say, "Can you read this for us?" They'd read our names and we'd say, "That's not our name. Joe isn't our name. It's not there." So we'd introduce, that we were elders, what our purpose was, and we were able to find a lot of opportunities out of that. Filipinos are also very forward. They're very blunt. They're not afraid to say something about your features or if you've done something. So in one of my areas when I first got there, one of the members came up and said, "Elder, you have a really big nose. Like, it is huge." And my whole time there, they would never let me forget that I had a big nose. I mean, I don't think it's that bad, but they did. But it was all in good fun, I feel like. Driving, getting around will take some getting used to. They don't really have traffic laws there. And I mentioned they only have 2 stoplights in the whole mission. Really, the public transportation is a jeepney or a bus. And once you get inside, drivers will go as fast as they can down the road until someone tells them to stop. They will also pack them clear full with people. As long as they get their money, they don't care how comfortable you are. So some of my fondest memories that I have were, hanging out of a bus because there wasn't room inside. That's an exhilarating feeling, hanging out of a bus going, 70 or 80 kilometers an hour down the road. And if there's not room hanging out the outside or inside the bus, then we would just climb on top of the bus and just hang out with the livestock that was put up there. And it was actually really fun. I preferred up there more than inside the bus. But according to your mission, they might not allow that. But we did the chivalrous thing and offered our seats to other people first. But mostly because we wanted to sit on top of the bus.